I'm Mark Janes. It's time to visit with some folks from the city of Beech Grove. It's the City Hall show, and Mayor Buckley will be joining us in just a few minutes on the show. But as we've done over the last year and a half to 2 years, we've been together on a regular basis. We like to bring in folks from the various departments that help make up this great city, and we're happy to have with us today Angel McKenna, Facility Director for the Hornet Park Community Center. First of all, thanks for taking the time to be with us today.
Sure, thank you.
So we know well, if you don't know where Hornet Park Community Center is, if you've ever been to the high school, you have to drive right by it.
Yes.
It's right off of Emerson Avenue, and I think while we can spend some time talking about the various programs and services, I think it's aptly named as a community center because that's exactly what it is, a center for the community.
Yes, it is.
Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the activities. You can't hardly a day goes by you drive by, there aren't cars in the parking lot. Talk a little bit about some of the things that go on there on a regular basis.
Well, daily we have a fitness center that's available to students starting at age 10 all the way through, our senior community. We have a large group of seniors that come in and use our facility on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. We have banquet rooms and meeting rooms that are used a lot of times for groups that are like nonprofit groups in the area. There are businesses that rent out the meeting rooms for meetings monthly or weekly. The banquet room is available for private events, say weddings, birthday parties, any sort of event like that. Mm-hmm. So we have a lot of those going on. We have some other events that go on that are just open to the public.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that people need to be made aware of is, certainly sometimes space can be at a premium in order for you to have an event or have what is, typically a pretty important meeting. Groups like to gather on a regular basis, and it's not just confined to groups in the city of Beech Grove. You have some corporate business there, and you talked a little bit about the fact that the physical aspect of it, the health benefit of it, people doing exercise classes there on a regular basis, and the individuals that want to start teaching a class, they can use the community center as a place to host that class if they don't have a place available to them.
Well, I suppose that's something they could approach us with. We do have several classes already available. Mm-hmm. Yoga, rebounding, Zumba, step aerobics. So I have several instructors in place now that offer classes.
Do I see from time to time, I think I see some emergency services vehicles parked in the parking lot.
The fire department uses our facility often for training, yesterday and today. They had training classes there using the banquet room that we have.
Now, people typically, those that use it for other than maybe government business or training business or meeting places and whatnot, is it a pretty popular place for, weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, celebrations of that kind?
Yes. Every weekend we have an event, at least one event. Our large banquet room can split into two, so a lot of times we'll have two events on a Sunday and maybe two events on a Saturday. It just depends on the weekend. But almost every weekend we have some kind of birthday party, wedding, or some other celebration.
Now, we should let folks know that if they're interested in looking at that, I'm going to assume that any catering, any decorating, things of that nature has to be taken care of by the people that rent the facility.
Yes, all we provide are the tables and chairs in the room, and there's a kitchen that's available to be used as well.
Yeah, so that's very, very handy, and I know that as time has gone by, the relationship continues to expand. Talk about the relationship between the Hornet Park Community Center and Beech Grove City Schools.
Well, just this year, this school year, the Beech Grove City Schools has partnered up with us to offer a program called Safe Sitter. And that's a program that's for 11 to 14-year-old kids to teach them how to be safe while they're babysitting kids, how to do choking rescue, and how to just be fully prepared when they're alone responsible for a child. Mm-hmm. That was a great opportunity for the kids at Beech Grove because the school has sponsored that. We can offer it for $5 a class, which is a tremendous savings.
I think most people would find that most of what is offered there is pretty cost effective.
Oh, yes, yeah. The teachers, all the employees of the school system are allowed to join our fitness center for only $5, and that membership is good for the entire length of their employment with the city schools. The Hornet Park and Central PTO, they're hosting a family game night once a month in our facility. We just started that, and we're looking to have a Christmas party beginning of December. So that'll be fun.
You've got a lot of programs between now and the end of the year. You want to share the schedule with
Yeah,
folks?
we do. Sure. The one we have coming up this weekend is the Halloween party, and that's actually held at the Elton Geschweiler Senior Center.
Okay.
That'll be from 5:30 to 7. It is a Halloween costume contest, so we have prizes that we're giving out, and we have lots of goodies, and it'll be a really good time. We have Safe Sitter class coming up the 7th of November. That's our next class that's available. We teach Italian once a week. We have a lady that comes in and teaches Italian. So that's a fun class. It's a 12-week program that she offers. The Beech Grove Fire Department, they offer CPR and AED certification once a month. We have HSE classes, which are taught by Central 9. They come in weekly, twice a week they have a class. November 11th, we have a flu shot clinic coming up, so if anyone needs their flu shot,
Sure.
or any elderly people might want a pneumonia shot, we have that available. On the 16th of November, the Marion County Prosecutor's Office is coming. They've already been twice for different seminars, but this one is going to be based on burglary and how to stay safe during the holidays. That'll be a really interesting seminar from them. We have on November 20th a career fair, and we're gathering several companies to come in. We're also partnering up with Southeast Community Services, which is in Fountain Square, and between us and them, we're bringing in a lot of potential employers. And that's on November 20th. On the 3rd is, like I mentioned, the family game night, December 3rd. Hornet Park and PTO are sponsoring that. They're bringing in popcorn. We should hopefully have a DJ and maybe some pizza, and it should be a real fun Christmas party. December 1st, we'll have American Red Cross blood drive. That's also Giving Tuesday. So if you feel giving on Tuesday the 1st, come by and give some blood.
Sure.
Let's see, December 7th, we have an insurance workshop, and this will be a class, a seminar, I guess, to inform you of all the things insurance, be it health insurance, house insurance,
Stuff
car
that no one in
insurance.
their right mind understands.
Things, yeah, something to help explain things. There are a lot of people who, this is kind of foreign to them and intimidating, so this will be a good opportunity to learn about that. And then finally, on December 12th, we have Santa, and he's coming to the senior center. And you bring your camera, and there'll be some snacks there, and it'll just be a good time with Santa.
We transitioned from Halloween right into Thanksgiving and Christmas.
They're very close together.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. I could enjoy fall a lot more, I think, if it didn't lead to winter. Although you might like snow.
I agree with you. No.
And then, of course, the thing about the community center is that there are activities of all kinds all year round. I mean, it's not just packed up when school is in session or anything of that nature. So.
We have a lot of classes in the summer. Like every week we have a program in the summertime. Most of it's based on nature or animals, and that's always a good time. And we're looking to make sure there's something offered every month. Multiple things offered every month to the community. So
what sort of social media options are available if people want to contact you and find out more about what's going on at the community center?
Well, Beech Grove Parks Department is who runs the community center. So we have a Facebook page, and it's just Beech Grove Parks Department. And on there I list all the events that are coming up, so you can subscribe to the events there and follow that.
Okay.
We also have an Instagram, which is Beech Grove, or it's BG_Parks is our Instagram name.
Okay.
The city website always has our events posted there, which is beechgrove.com. And also, some of the events I'm listing through Eventbrite, so that you can go on and you can register for those events. Because a lot of them we like to have pre-registration for, especially the kids' events like Safe Sitter.
Sure.
Just so because we're limited on how many we can serve. So we have events posted there as well.
And if businesses in the community are looking for a great place, or large families looking for a great place to have Christmas parties, family gatherings and whatnot, it's best to give you a call ASAP before those dates get booked up.
Those dates are getting booked, and we are getting more limited. Even today I was booking another one, so. Yep.
Was this as
That's fine.
painless as I told you it would be?
It's fine. Yes.
Okay,
Totally
good.
painless.
We'll have you back again, talk about things in spring.
Okay.
Thank you very
sir.
much. We appreciate it. Mayor Buckley joins us after we take this commercial break. Thank you. Welcome back, and again, we want to thank Angel McKenna for joining us from Hornet Park, and we now have with us the mayor of the city of Beech Grove, Dennis Buckley. Mayor, happy to have you with us.
Oh, it's good to be here.
I want to thank you again for your efforts recently on a Friday night, the first weekend of the high school football sectional. We were lucky enough to host Dave First and the good folks from Channel 6, and not only were you there to visit with Dave about our city and our community, but I know that everyone at WRTV6 was really proud of the proclamation that you issued designating it RTV6 Friday Football Frenzy Night in the city of Beech Grove.
Oh, it was good for the city. It was good for the school. I wish they would have won, but they didn't. But hey, listen, when I told him that I knew Mark James, the whole thing changed. The whole
I'm surprised he
scenario
didn't drop
changed.
his mic and walk off the set. But no, Dave and I have been friends for a few years and have worked together on a lot of projects, and we appreciate the support that they give all high school athletes, and certainly the support that they've given us here at Beech Grove this fall. So let's talk a little bit about city business. We visited a bit last spring, and we updated the folks on where we stood in terms of sewer projects. So let's get the update as we sit here now getting into November.
Well, we just finished a couple of small projects, and we're going to begin soon relining of about some sewers in about 5 different areas of the city. So that should start. You may have noticed them out flushing lines, and they're doing some cutting in preparation of lining, but we should be lining pretty soon, and it's just another improvement that we're making.
Summertime is typically the time where streets and sidewalks get the most attention. How do we do this summer?
Oh, we did really well. We paved Bell Fountain, which I think those of you who drive on it realize how bad that road was. It's beautiful now. Bethel recently was repaved, and I'm being told that through Indianapolis DPW that Southern Avenue is going to be done sometime in the middle of November. So that is good news for the city and for the people who live in those areas.
You touch on, I think, something that we need to make clear to folks. If they have a question in terms of where your responsibility as a city ends and where the city of Indianapolis's responsibility or maybe the county's responsibility begins, the answer to that question is just a phone call away, correct?
Yes, all they have to do is give us a call, 803-9098, that's DPW, and you'll be able to get that question answered.
Well, I notice, because I usually I sneak out the back on a regular basis here and go up Churchman. They are really rolling along on this project on Churchman Avenue that's going to provide some badly needed housing opportunities for our senior citizens here in the city.
Yes, that project's moving along really well. It's a vast improvement over what it was 2 years ago. I think within the next month, you'll be able to go and view apartments for pre-occupancy, and they're advising me that they want the project done by March of 2016. So they are really moving, and it's such a nice improvement for the city.
Yeah, and I think sometimes people, but there goes another apartment complex. This is vastly different than your run-of-the-mill apartment complex.
Yeah, there was a study done by more than one senior agency, and there is a vast need for senior housing in this area of the county. So it's not surprising to me that it's filling up very fast.
Now, we had the folks from Ray's here back in the spring. We talked about the new recycling program that the city has undertaken in cooperation with Ray's. I'm a little familiar with it in the part of the city in which I live. We've been doing it there for about a year or so. So where does the new recycling initiative stand? The folks from Ray's pleased? The folks from the city pleased with how the residents either have or haven't embraced it?
Yes, it's going along very well. We started at the 1st of August. Our tonnage that we take to the landfill has gone down significantly.
It's huge.
Our average waste bill to the landfill in Covanta is about $17,000 per month. Now, the September bill was $10,000. So we're up to about 1,200 recycling customers, and each week, or every 2 weeks, they collect roughly 10 tons of recyclables. And just think about that. Before we recycled, every bit of that was going to the earth or to Covanta. So it's really, really good. It's costing us about $3,000 to $4,000 a month to recycle. So the city's saving a little bit of money, but that's not why we did it. We did it because this is the right thing to do. We have to do better with the environment.
Yeah, what's impressed me about some of the efforts that Ray's has undertaken in terms of how they separate recycling from the trash. It's not like, I know I have family in Florida and some other cities that have been recycling for a number of years, and once upon a time you had to put a clear glass in one, you had to put aluminum in another, you had to put a plastic in another, and a paper in another, and now they sort that at the facility, and it's pretty fail-proof. I mean, anything that can be recycled goes into one dumpster.
Donnie Matthews built he owns Ray's, and he built a series of machines that's automatically separated. It's unbelievable to look at. But what makes it easy is because you can commingle your recyclables at your house.
Yeah.
And recycling starts at home. So this has just been a good deal for everybody.
Well, we could transition in. Tell us a little bit about this Clean Community Challenge through the Indiana Department of Environmental Management.
Well, I've always thought that the city wasn't a very good steward of the environment. We didn't do a whole lot to encourage taking care of the environment. So we signed up for a Clean Community Challenge. Maybe 2 years ago we started talking about it, and it was hard because IDEM would come out and they would inspect your public buildings that the city owns, inspect city vehicles, generators, and what gets dumped down the drain, our parks. And there was a series of things that they went to, and we wanted to meet IDEM's gold standard. So we did, and we became a clean city on October the 3rd, and we are only the 18th city in Indiana that has that recognition. I think that's good. There's programs that have spun off of that. One of them is recycling. We do shredding now, and we're going to do medicine disposal soon. We do light bulb recycling now. So all of those are good things for our city, and the people who live here have responded well. I cannot believe how popular recycling is here. And it's kind of odd because people who move here from California or Michigan, they call and say, I need to sign up for recycling. Well, what do you mean you don't have recycling? Because in those states,
Sure.
you don't have a choice. You
Yeah.
have to do it. So it's just the culture of people is different, and I'm happy with how people have responded to it.
Update us on the Greenway Initiative.
Well, I have a meeting Friday concerning the application for the Greenway. We're going to apply for funding in November. We'll find out if we get it in February. I think we will. It's for $2.5 million. And what we want to do is we want to put a greenway. It's about 2.5 miles long that weaves through the city of Beech Grove. It connects all of the schools to Main Street to our parks. So we promote family values, exercise. You can ride, walk, bike. You can walk your dog. All of those things, and that's just another. It's another program as well to attract young people. So we're going to aggressively pursue it, and I think we'll be successful. And I think it would be very good for the city.
So again, we need to highlight the fact that you're not moving money around from different budgets or taking money away that was earmarked for other projects. This is a grant program.
Yes, and it's our goal to get the funding and our match and not cause the taxpayers any money other than the design. So I'm looking forward to doing it.
Well, I mean, let's face it. The cost, you're going to do all you can to contain it and keep the cost down. But bottom line is, it's a good investment in the city.
It is. Just this year, our assessed valuation, and I explained to people, your personal property, your home, is worth more now than it was 4 years ago, and it's continuing to rise. And that's just a sign that the city's recovering and moving forward. And programs like recycling, the Greenway, and things such as that, bike trail that's coming, those things all help to increase the value of the city.
One of the things that you need, or the many things you need in order to conduct business effectively and efficiently and provide services effectively and efficiently, is equipment. You try to maintain it and give it the shelf life that it needs. But talk a little bit about some recent purchases and what might be on the horizon in terms of new equipment for various city agencies.
Well, next year we're going to purchase some more police cars. In February we will take delivery of the second new ambulance, new fire engine in 4 years. And in November of this year, we're going to take delivery of the third new ambulance that we've purchased in the last 3.5 years. So, providing public safety is the most important thing that I can do as mayor. And if I want these men and women to perform, I have to put them in equipment that works. And I'm going to do it, and I've done it in the past, and I'll do it in the future. But that's just how it has to be. And I will take our services up against anybody because I think we are that good.
Well, and I think the thing that I think most people are the proudest of in terms of being residents of the city of Beech Grove, I know this is my 4th year being in this community as an employee here at the school corporation. Just the everyday visibility of police, fire, and emergency personnel, I think, is so very, very vital. I mean, these people are woven into the fabric of this community, the people that provide the emergency services.
Yes, you're not just a number here, and that's what differentiates us from the big city. But we also put school resource officer in here, which I think has helped immensely. And if I could have gotten away with it, I would have done a couple more because it's just that important to us. So I'm happy with it.
Well, let's talk a little bit about economic development. Where do we stand in terms of businesses knocking on your door saying, hey, we think we might want to locate in Beech Grove?
Well, that's been a really blessing for us. 3.5 years ago, we were kind of like the boat that died in the water. We didn't have anything, and we weren't going anywhere. The hospital recently closed, but all of a sudden things started happening, and we're up to over $75 million worth of investments in this city. People contest that. I tell them that at least 80 businesses have moved here in the last 3.5 years. Some folks question that, but I say that's conservative. I think there's more. And I think that's good. And the sign is that people are willing to invest money in this city. And it's good for the city, it's good for the library, and it's good for the school district. And when I ran for mayor, I ran on the platform, look, if you don't have a good library, you don't have a good school system, your city is not going to be any good at all. So that's why I came out for these referendums. I support them. And I just think the city's doing well, and we've held the line on spending, and hey, you know what? It's much better than when we started.
I know you and your council are tirelessly working to get something done with the property where the hospital is. There's only so much that you can do in that regard. Are we still in the mode to where we hope something gets done, or do we anticipate something being done soon, or know something will be done?
I just before I came here, I spoke to a group of seniors, and one of them asked me about the hospital, and I said, you know, it's like riding a roller coaster. You get to the top of the hill, then you go down, then you go back up, and for whatever reason, they keep changing their mind. Mm-hmm. You know, over 3 months ago, they came to me and said, we're going to knock it all down and cut our losses. Okay. Now they're talking, well, we might sell it to, well, come on, make your mind up. Tell me what you want to do. You know, you're not helping the people around you. The property values around the hospital are not increasing because you stare at a vacant building.
Sure.
So something has to happen, and I think it will, but St. Francis or the Franciscan Alliance sure goes slow sometimes. Mm-hmm. So.
But that's, I mean, it's folks, rest assured, your government is working as hard as it can possibly work to try to get something done to alleviate that issue and find a workable solution to it. A couple of things before we let you go. I have my fingers crossed that the prognosticators are accurate, and this massive El Nino is going to cause for a warmer winter with less snow and ice that we've had in years past. But just in case they're wrong, and oftentimes they are, Mayor, how do we set in terms of sand and salt and everything that we need to battle old man winter here in Beech Grove?
The folks out of DPW and Brad, they've done a really good job. They're ready to tackle it. Nobody looks forward to it. But they're ready. We changed the way we plowed a couple of years ago. We started pre-salting and pre-treating, and it worked. I think the snow plowing is much better than it was. If you live in Annapolis, you don't see a plow unless there's 6 inches of snow on the ground. Right. Here, it's 2 inches, so you know what? They've done a nice job. They're ready, and we have more salt spreaders and plows on than we've ever had. So we're ready to go.
Feel good about the summer and everything that happened here in the city of Beech Grove as we head toward winter now?
Yes, I'm very happy with the direction of the city, and I think the city's best days are about 5 years from now.
If anybody has any questions at all about any city service, a question, a complaint, whatever the case may be, how do they get a hold of the City Hall?
You can call us directly at 803-9111, and we'll talk to you.
Well, thanks again for everything. We appreciate it, and we enjoy our relationship with your office and the city, and we want to continue to see it grow.
Thank you, Mark. It's always good to see you, talk to you.
That's Mayor Dennis Buckley. I'm Mark Janes. We'll have him back in about a month from now. Thanks for now. So long. Thank you.
Thank you.